Hi guys and gals, welcome to today's project. We're back with the 1971 Chevelle, the Crown Jewel. We're going to switch it up a little bit today, keep things interesting. We're going to play around with this here small block Chevy. Let's try to get some of these things knocked out of here so we can get this thing ready to fire up. We'll check back with you when we get set up. Alright guys and gals, here's what we got going on today. At the small block Chevy, we're getting everything set up here, trying to button up some of these final last minute things so we can get this thing going. We can get this vacuum advance hooked up. Now a lot of times you'll notice on these carburetors, they'll have two different vacuum ports. Okay, go ahead and make sure you check with your instructions as to which one you need for your vacuum advance. There's manifold pressure, usually that's the lower one, that's going to be for your transmission modulator to make all that stuff work. So pay attention here, because the last thing you want is to be trying to start this thing up and you got it on vacuum on your canister off your manifold. Okay, so make sure you take into consideration of which port you're hooking where. Alright guys and gals, here we go. Let me show you what I got made up here. So what I got here, vacuum line. Alright, now you'll be able to tell the difference because the wall thickness is a lot heavier. But what you don't want is you don't want this thing sucking shut when you're trying to make all them horse pressures come out. You know, this is your advance for your timing. So make sure you use good quality stuff here. Don't just get some plastic hose and just throw it on there and say it's good. So all we got to do is attach this end to our vacuum canister on our HEI distributor, and then to vacuum advance port on your carburetor. Okay? Then for a little added insurance, just take a little zip tie here. You know, because that's snug. That ain't coming off there. Alright, that's the other thing. You want to make sure that fits good because you don't want a vacuum leak and you're going to be chasing that around. Alright, so let's get this zip tie here. Alright. And I know these things come in, you know, hundreds of colors. I just picked the black ones because they blend. Looks a little cleaner. If you're into that, you want to color match all your stuff, you know, go for it. We're just going with the black here. And make sure that's seated on there good. Alright, there we go. Then we'll trim them off there and then. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get these heater hose line fittings sealed up. You know what I got here. Okay. Pipe sealant. Anytime you're putting a fitting into a water jacket, make sure you use thread sealant, alright? So we'll get these put in and we'll show you maybe something you guys ain't seen. I got some cool little hoses here that I've had for a while. We're going to see if they're going to work on this project. Alright, stay tuned. I'll click you back on when we get this installed. Alright guys and gals, there you go. So we got that in. Now, what I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if any of you have seen these type of hoses before, but I found these at Swap Meet long time ago, okay? It's corrugated aluminum heater hoses. Alright, and then they have these clamp ends. This stuff's been around so long, look how dusty it is. But I'm thinking maybe we can adapt this to work. It looks like we got plenty of material here. Alright, let's get these torn apart, cleaned up, and see what we can come up with. This is another one of them situations where a little bit of effort and ingenuity, you can make some cool stuff. Alright, so let me get this stuff ripped apart, cleaned up, we'll see what we can make. Alright guys and gals, we'll click you back on when we're there. Alright guys and gals, we're back. So, what we got, let's see if I can get this in here to show you. Okay, this is the clamp. Alright, there's a rubber insert in there that looks like it sandwiches this aluminum piping. Okay, now if you're looking into that, it's corrugated. Look how cool this stuff is though. That sure beats a black radiator hose. Alright, now, what I got two different lengths here. So, what I'm thinking, let's see if we can't get this fitted up here somehow. And I'm just going to go ahead and just slide it over my heater port here. There we go. Alright. And then just gently start manipulating this stuff to where we're trying to go. Okay? Alright, so that's on there. Now, pay attention here, okay? Because you don't want this rubbing your valve covers, all that good stuff. And that's another reason why I didn't want to run just rubber black hose, because it'd just be laying over here looking all kind of crazy. We don't want that. So, what I'm going to try to do here is get this, look at that. See how nice this stuff works? I'm just holding one end and gently persuading it to contour to the shape that not only looks good, but it's going to work. Okay? Now remember, these have them clamps on the end, so this is going to move out a little bit, but it's going to get us pretty close in the ballpark. Alright? There's that one. Let's see. Can we get this one on here? Now, that's pretty much the same size as that one. So, what I'll do here, I'll put a piece of rubber hose here just to hold that in place for me. Like an extra hand. Let's see if I can't find a piece that'll work here quick. So what I was actually able to do, I took the piece that's old. Now, I'll replace all this stuff, obviously. But we're just trying to get this all fitted up here. We're trying to mock some of this stuff up. Remember, like I told you before, I like mocking stuff up. That way there's any fitment issues, we can go ahead and get them addressed now, before we're in the 9th hour trying to make things work. Okay. So, I'm going to do the same thing here. Just going to take my time. And if you notice, when I showed you them the first time, they had 2 little clamps. So I'm definitely going to try to utilize them because they look pretty nice. Put a little bend in it there. Kind of just follow this contour along this one. Now this one's going to come over, okay, and it's going to attach here. So I'm going to be real gentle while I'm doing this. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not chintzy by any means. All right, so now I want to just take this, work this down. All right, because what I'm thinking, I'm going to take a little time to straighten this out. But that's what I'm trying to get at here. So we can go that route. And now you'll look here, I got to trim this. Okay, this is way too long. But I'm not going to do that just yet. Until I get it exactly up here where I want it. And I'm happy with that. So we'll get this all fitted up here. We'll cut you back on and show you what it looks like. Mocked into place. Alright guys and gals, we're back. So, what I got here is a neat little clamp. Okay? It's made by a company named Billet Specialty. And you'll notice the common theme around my shop, we love shiny stuff. Okay? So if it's cool and shiny, we're going to get it. Is this necessary to do this job? Absolutely not. Is it way cool and we're going to do it anyhow? You betcha. So look how this works here, okay? It's got one little Allen key. Just loosen that up. Check that out. Alright? And what it's going to do for us, it's going to space our hoses apart while keeping them, you know, nice and contained together. Alright, so what we're going to do here, let's just take this apart. That way you can see. It's like a set of 2-finger brass knuckles. Alright, oh, no, maybe not. I don't know. Anyhow, we're going to put this on here. Now, I will tell you, okay, this is aluminum hose, corrugated hose here. This is an aluminum bracket. Do not just put these together and think that's okay, okay? You don't want metal on metal rubbing, vibrations, motor horsepower, making racket, all that stuff. This is going to eventually wear through there. So what we're going to do, like I said, we like to mock a lot of stuff up. That's what we're doing here. So, when you go to final assemble, put a piece of rubber in there, okay? Double-sided tape, something. give it some cushion. But for now, we're just going to mock everything up. All right, check that out. Well, that's going to be nice. Just spreads them two hoses out, keeps them together. There you go. We got another one here. Now, the main thing, the objective we're after here, we don't want to tear up this beautiful valve cover we got. Okay, this is black powder coat, and there's a chrome strip on top. All right, we don't want to have this sitting there rubbing on that. That's another reason why we didn't go with the rubber hoses. We wanted to be able to manipulate the hoses and maintain the distance between our valve covers and all our stuff. Okay, we want this car to stay nice for as long as possible. This is going to be a driver. This ain't no show pony, even though it's going to go to shows. But we still want to be able to have it functional and use it. So this is what we're coming up with. All right. Put that one on the bottom. That was threaded. Slide your two hoses together. This one just sits on top with single mount. Now look at that. Huh? That's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get the rest of this fitted up here. Back you up so you can see. Alright. We're going to get this hose end cut, fitted to there, and then that'll be that mock up, and then I'll just have to figure out what size rubber hose I need to make sure all of them connect good, and that'll be one more job checked off our list. I'll click you back on when we got that done. Show you what it looks like. Alright guys and gals, there we go. Check that out. Look at these neat little clamps. So all this is a piece of rubber hose in here with two hose clamps, and this cool little cover to cover all that up. So, there you go. Got that mocked up. I don't know about you, but that's pretty neat looking. Move you around here and let you take a look at it. Check that out. They're all neat, organized. Huh? Okay. Now, let's show you what we got going on here. This is a small block Chevrolet. It's got hydraulic cam in it. Yeah, the typical hot rod stuff. 600 Holly on there. Alright. Front drive assembly, Billet Specialties. Real nice serpentine conversion. Now this in here, standard rotation, so you don't have to run, you know, it's not one belt, it's two separate individual belts. But look how clean that is. Valve covers, same thing. Now these bright blue spark plug wires, I'll admit, they look like garbage. We're not going to keep them. Okay? We got them before I started doing the paint and stuff on this. Wrong color blue, for sure. It's hard to tell in these descriptions. But we got a black set coming. So that's just going to allow us to blend all that in. And you start to see the color scheme we're going for here. Alright. So now you're saying, well, wait, what are you going to do with the radiator now, huh? You're going to have radiator hoses that look like that? Well, let's see. Alright. I was able, at the same time, look at that. Radiator hose. Same setup. Two clamps, piece of rubber. Cool little cover. So what we're going to end up doing here, alright, now obviously we don't have our coarse board and that stuff in. But these, check that out. Alright, we're going to clean all this stuff up. But I'll tell you what, now you're starting to get the idea here. Just boing, boing. I don't know about you guys and gals, but that's pretty slick. I'm digging it. Alright, I think that's going to do me for today. We're going to keep chopping away at this thing till we get her all buttoned up. Waiting on a fuel fitting down here. So we can get that hooked up, and then that's our fuel system. Then we're just wiring and firing this baby up. Alright guys and gals, you know why we do it. We do it for the love of hot rods and horsepower. Go out and get yourself a project. Start enjoying it. We'll catch you on the next one.